Good afternoon. Thank you for tuning into Money Control. We're back today to give you an update on what's happening in the commodities. Cotton seems to be an ongoing story. Yesterday also we were tracking that meeting that government manufacturers and exporters were going to have with the ministry. Is there an
And the minister clearly has spoken very clearly to all the stakeholders. 70 of them participated in this meeting yesterday. So while of course there has been conversation about the prices itself, but the minister has come out with four things, warnings or requests, the way you want to read it. It is said that one is that if the cotton cannot be sold to the yarn manufacturers, then clearly those factories will not work. And how will the cotton manufacturers work in that case? So for the industries to coexist, you have to first look at the domestic markets itself. The second thing that the minister talked about is that the first, you are exporting cotton to the garment exporting countries. So instead of that, instead of creating a competition in the international markets, it is better to give cotton to the garment makers and exporters within India so that we have value addition in case of cotton as well. The third thing that the minister told the cotton stakeholders was that if the cotton prices are not brought in under control, then the incentives that are being given on many of these trades will be taken back. The fourth thing that he said was that there could be an export duty to the tune of 10 to 20%, which also could be levied. And the fifth point, which the industry has been talking about, is that there could be an export restriction or an export ban as well. It is on table, but only as a last resort, is what the minister said. So, well, yes, various things have been discussed, and the industry clearly has a clarity on what the minister can actually go ahead and do with it.
But is it good news or bad for the industry and finally?
I think it's a mix of sorts. One, there has been a warning given, but have the prices paid heed to that? Not really, because the international markets in sense of cotton have continued to run up. And yesterday, ahead of the meeting, we saw a huge profit taking. But today in the morning, you are looking at nearly a percentage point of a run up in cotton prices yet again. So I think until the time the fundamentals are strong. And the point also here, Karunya, is that even as the cotton prices have more than doubled since last year, and the markets do expect that the new season will be looking at an acreage rise of 10 or 15%. But then there is a catch here as well. You are looking at heat wave. You have seen the soil moisture evaporate. You also are looking at water scarcity in the northern part of the country. So whether or not you will actually see that acreage or that kind of a cotton quality of field is still a question mark. So there are still a lot of uncertainties. And when you look at the US markets, their cotton inventories are the lowest since 2016. So yes, there are concerns here, and there's as much that you as a government can do.
Okay. You were talking about export duty, which could be levied on domestic players. But what about import duty? I think we already have some import duty as well, which companies pay. So is there a waiver there as well?
Well, yes, that was announced in the month of April itself, and that is until the 30th of September. Now, what we do here, and the notification on that is awaited, that the minister did say that the bill of lading will be allowed until 30th of September. So that means your shipments can come after 30th of September as well. Only your billing date has to be until 30th September. So those shipments can come in, October or November also for that matter. So that's a big positive that yes, the shipments will continue to come in. Other thing is that the new crop would also start coming in by the month of October. So by the time we reach October, we will see a lot of these concerns ease out. The major problem is right now, the next couple of months. And we do understand that in Tamil Nadu, especially where there are concerns, there are a lot of smaller joints, smaller mills that have already cut their working time to nearly 30 to 40%. There are spinning mills and cotton garment exporters or manufacturers for that matter in other parts of Western India as well, who have cut their working time down to nearly 60, 70%, 50% in cases of some companies as well. That is where the concern comes in from. There are concerns on electricity, other input costs, and then the cotton prices at all-time highs. It is getting difficult for the garment makers, the textile mills, the exporters, and that is exactly what the minister is keeping an eye on right now.
Okay. Just one quick question, which I'm sure our viewers would also like to know. How long before the price impact, the 80% rise we've seen in cotton prices in the last 1 year, we pay for?
Well, yes, the correction in the prices is something that the industry is waiting for. We haven't seen it yet, And do we see a lot of it in the next few days? Looks difficult. But that's another thing that many of the people who attended the meeting told us, that the government has said that if you are not able to work out a curb in price rise in next week or 10 days, then the government will be forced to take an action. In what form, what, how much, it is still on cards here. But yes, the industry is anticipating some step that the government could be taking. We also understand from the stakeholders that the minister said that, what we did for wheat is a similar thing that we could do for cotton as well if the market is not corrected by itself. Self-moderation, ensuring that you continue to coexist into the Indian markets are the kind of words we do understand from various stakeholders were used in the meeting yesterday.
All right, then. Let's see how this pans out. Wheat, of course, we saw some, concrete decisions. The latest on that front. Thank you guys for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow with the latest on commodities.